much for having me. I'd like to thank the European Internet Forum, especially our honorable members of European Parliament for their leadership, and Maria Rosa for your critical role in building a bridge between the private sector and European politicians. I think it's really important to promote and preserve constructive international dialogues like today's discussion, and I'm delighted to be representing the private sector here. You know, as we begin to emerge from a COVID crisis, there is one key lesson that's very clear. The more people and countries and companies that coordinated and cooperated, the better they performed. And the best responses to the pandemic came from international efforts rooted in mutual respect for science and promotion of innovation. I'm really encouraged by the European Union's call for a high-level Trade and Technology Council to ensure the US and EU are working together to harness 5G and other technologies to drive economic recovery and innovation. The European and American economies, as has been mentioned previously, have long benefited from this kind of technology diplomacy, which is both an extension of our shared US and European values and an economic force multiplier that really demonstrates how much these values and the rule of law reward nations that adopt them. This is the kind of international cooperation that's part of Qualcomm's DNA. Through our engineering breakthroughs, we've been a driving force behind wireless innovation and standards alongside key European partners for more than 3 decades. And recently, we've even powered the Ingenuity helicopter, a drone that Perseverance has carried to the surface of Mars in collaboration with NASA. So I think you can see how this goes really to the heart of what we do at Qualcomm. You know, just to make a couple quick points and not be repetitive of what others said, so we have time to get to questions. For us, we really look at how openness of international standards is critical to the future for EU innovation and how that underpins all of industries. You know, it's an important place where Europe is a leading innovator and has real technical expertise. And it's really important to note that 5G is becoming one of those core technological foundations on which our economies and societies will be built. Each new 5G related job is expected to generate 1.8 jobs in the broader economy, according to a recent study that Accenture did in partnership with Qualcomm. Just to give you a sense of scale, that's potentially 16 million new or transformed American jobs and 20 million jobs in Europe over the next 5 years. So we see that opportunity as absolutely critical. Of course, we are focused on issues in automotive and supply chain and security and other things that I think will be discussed. But we really hope that coming out of this, that there is a chance to for countries to achieve more autonomy and sovereignty in the semiconductor space, and as well to use competitiveness to strengthen our relationships and this ecosystem. So maybe what I will just say is, in a quick conclusion, is that actions on both sides of the Atlantic ought to be based on truths understood from Washington to Brussels and Berlin or Paris to San Diego, where Qualcomm is located. The more a city or country or region can stimulate talent and innovation among its people, the more competitive its economy will be, and healthy competition, I think, benefits all of us. In this spirit, we think the transatlantic partnership is vital, and building a new consensus between the EU and US collaboration will not only enhance each region's strategic position, but also promote shared democratic values around the world. Ready to stop there and happy to answer any questions that may come up. Thank you, Maria Rosa.